time we fed and the time we're milking. So we actually did it in a couple steps today just because it's kind of warm. I don't know if you can hear it in the video or not, but we did get the barn fan fixed yesterday. Ended up buying a new capacitor for it. It only cost me like, I think it was $9 on Amazon, so took more time to get that thing out of there and put back in than it did anything. And basically the way they had it set up in there, it wasn't very fun to get the bracket back in there, and the bracket had to come around the capacitor and put a loose nut underneath between the framework and the motor on there. So without completely removing the motor and putting it back in there, it took me a little while. So we got it accomplished though. So let's see what else we've been doing today.
Honey.
Bottled some honey today. It rained on us finally. So we didn't get a lot of rain, but we did get, I would call it an okay sprinkle that lasted a little while, at least a couple hours, which, you know, during that time frame, took that opportunity to, like I said, bottle some honey, clean up the extractor from when we extracted honey, when got an oil change in the truck, those kind of things that we're, you know, not really shooting the day away on a day that you could really be outside getting something done. But it don't take long out here today to get soaked. But
We also melted wax.
yeah, we melted some wax, cleaned a little bit of wax up. Mostly it was we worked on the cappings from when we extracted the girls' honey for their 4-H. So it was about, I'd venture, it was just less than about half a 5-gallon bucket worth of cappings. So we run those through, melted them down, cleaned them up a little bit. So now we're waiting on them to harden back up so we can see. Once it cools down, it'll harden up, and then we'll pull it off the water and then see how clean it is and see if we got to do it again. But outside of that, we still have over 2 full 5-gallon buckets worth of cappings from this last time that we extracted. The video recently where we extracted honey, we did went through 42 boxes that day. Each box had 9 frames in it. The only ones that we ended up bringing out and extracting was the ones that the frames were 100% capped. Anything that wasn't, we put back there for the robbing station and did a video on that as well. From that extraction day, we ended up with rough,
shy of 800.
yeah, it was like 784, 85 pounds, if I remember right. And that is in about 17 5-gallon buckets. So with us using the bucket filters, that takes up some space, because a lot of guys, when they sell 5-gallon buckets, they usually sell 5 gallons as 60 pounds of honey around this area. So ours, it does not get that heavy because we use that filter as we're extracting. We'd have to top the buckets off. So really, if you're looking at it, we've got 17 buckets that have honey in it, and that's averaging about a little over 46 pounds per bucket that way. So not too bad. That'll get us the opportunity to have plenty for ourselves and still be able to supply honey at the farmer's market. So not quite to the same goal as we had last year, but we also did quite a bit of an increase this year compared to what we did last year.
We had more numbers for
last
hives.
year. Right, last year we started our year out with 13 hives, and we kept most of them as production hives. We did a few splits, and then ended up with, you know, a good honey year as well, so that helped, and then we hit our 1,000-pound goal. This year we started out with 17 hives. We're ending with 31 versus, like I said, last year we started with 13 and we actually ended with, what was it, 20? I think it was 20 or 21, I don't know. We ended up losing 6. We got down to 19, so that would have been what, 25 hives. So we increased a little bit more than what we had last year. As of right now, we actually have 31 hives out there, but 3 of them are, not sure what that was, flying around.
I think it's a bird.
Little bird, but we have 3 hives that we still got to go back through and make sure they become queen right before the end of the year, and if not, we'll do what we have to do, whether we combine them or what, to make sure they have enough resources to where they're going to be able to have that opportunity to make it through winter. The other thing we have to do here soon is we are going to go out there and do our mite checks and mite treatments, and then also this year will be the first year that we've been looking at it for the last 2 years, trying to figure out what's going on ever since we bought some of the hives from an area a little bit north of us. It seems like those hives, when I get stung, especially around the face and even the one time on the leg, I start having a lot more swelling than normal, and it's more like a not an allergic reaction swelling, it's more like a cellulitis kind of swelling, because when I go to the doctor for it, they actually end up putting me on an antibiotic and doing that. So with talking with the doctor, talking with our mentors, and talking with our vet in our area, we could use terramycin to treat the hives, and that would hopefully, the way everybody thinks it's going to work is once we treat the hives with that, then that will reduce the effects on me if I get stung again. So, or I should say when I get stung again, because you're not going to work around that many bees and not get it at some point. Now I can get stung in my hands through my gloves. I mean, I try to take all the precautions that I can. I wear a full suit back there most of the time, even if I'm not even working the bees. If I'm back there doing tractor work, a lot of times I'll still be in a suit just because I don't want to take that chance. The last time that I ended up getting stung right in the tip of the ear, basically I was just walking back there to shut the gate where we had the cows back there grazing, and I never got a warning bump or anything. I must have just happened to walk in its path or something, because it went straight to a sting. There was no warning it was going to happen or anything, and then naturally, you know, your first reaction is to go towards the sting, and when I did, I squeezed her, which squeezed more of her venom in there and made things that much worse, I guess. But by the next morning, it had started tightening up all the way across to the other jaw line, so I ended up having to do a video chat with the doctor, and we got it accomplished. So but hope you guys enjoy the videos. hope we are putting out some content that allows you guys to learn a little bit along with us. If you have questions or comments, leave those down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share on social media with all your family and friends, and we'll see you guys on the next one.